Yeah, this is Point Black coming in hard and off the car, coming with the flow straight from the barrio, and coming with the heat from the damn street. This is PBNN Point Black National News, the late and the great edition, and the ghetto edition as well, because this is what we must do. In many ways, we see what's going on. Now, today, we see where we're hearing a lot of this China, China, China. We're beginning to notice many people are even up in our postal service and spying and carrying on as well. The Chinese again. Now, look at your postal service and see if you see Chinese people working there. Because the report has come in based on the fact that the postal service is even spying on people via mail, internet, and social as well. I don't understand what the postal service is doing in that type of business, but we see who's working there all of a sudden. So keep your eyes sharp, my peoples, because it's highly important to understand the whole situation that's even going on with Creep Joe Biden and his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because for 50 years of Creep Joe Biden's career, you know what I'm saying, all he have done is lay in bed with our very own enemies because his enemies is the United States, probably federal capitalist government, really, because he is a Confederate. So, in all ways, you know what I'm saying, he's doing what many of them will do. They will transpire with your enemy to destroy you in order to think that in the end they will have full control, you know what I'm saying, and have won the war based on teaming up with all our enemies. Because what we see went on seems to be a stalling for many years and selling out and bribery and all types of foreign deals with the Creep Joe Biden administration. So he's no more than to me a plant. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a wonder that Obama, an Arab, you know what I'm saying, boy, decides that he gonna take Creep Joe Biden as his vice president. You see. So the plan has always been the same. You see. So in more ways than one, you know what I'm saying? Creep Joe Biden and the creepy administration, you know what I'm saying, has allowed over the years, probably both sides of the aisles, and then others, as we see. So we have to look at this. So in more ways than one, what Creep Joe Biden have done has led these people in, all our enemies he has transpired in bed with so he can win the Confederate War that still seems to be going on in any ways. So he wants to make sure that we be at our most weakest point when all his so-called conspiratorial uh, 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 conspiratorial nations or conspiratorial group or conspiratorial affiliation in order to facilitate or to bring forward a war against the United States in all ways. So we must now know that what they're doing is planting all over and majorly attacking us chemically, biologically, in more ways, and many other ways, and even want to attack us in our own foods for many years, all to weaken the military and the resource of military soldiers, you know what I'm saying, in all ways, even up to now. You know what I'm saying? They're weakening the people using this procedure you call a pandemic. And the pandemic is going to use that procedure to weaken the people so when we get attacked from inside, outside, and all sides, there won't be too much resistance. This is what we have to be looking at because that's what the delay of time is all about with the Creed Joe. He knows what he did. He knows what he's doing, and he knows who he's transpiring. So now, when we look at the very aspect of even the Democrats and the KKK and all them wicked ass doing bullshit with these Baphomet statues in front of six state buildings in the South, telling us that your Luciferian shit has hit the plane. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we see, and we have to start to move forward in a way that we can protect, and no matter how hard, how deep they have dug in, no matter what weapon, secret weapon, they seem to want to shoot at the regular American people who don't give a flying fuck about none of the bullshit that they have been doing, but other than the fact of you harming the human race on planet Earth, and that goes from Africa to everywhere. You know what I'm saying? On all additional African and dark skinned, brown skinned people. We care a lot about that, and we need to start to pay more close attention. Not just to see that they do this to this one and they do this to this one. Now they're doing it to everyone, isn't it? But when it was only us, we didn't hear much reporting or much things to be known until the conspiracy or whatever you want to call it seems to hit the news media or get exposed. But other than that, it was nothing really said. As even when you look at giving the people seeds, genetical hybrid seeds that are made to kill the crop as it grows up and it's supposed to begin to its right, it dies. So it's a sabotage of even the biological understanding of destroying crops and giving the people the seeds and having them planted, put all that hard work in, only to watch the crops fail and people starve and die. This supposed to be the great human behavior. But again, as long as it ain't happening to them, or we don't see what happening to them, but we only see what happened to us. Same thing we see in the killing of the Ethiopians by the Arabians, which is no more than a Caucasian, really. You know what I'm saying? They share the same phenotype. But why would you wait for them to drive them out of Ethiopia by your war and your garbage and them upper guys up above? You know what I'm saying? Treat them whatever they want to call themselves. Coming down, causing civil war and chaos in Ethiopia. And when the people fleeing from the country and crossing into the border, you over there shooting them with a high-powered weapon and close range. So who is the Arabians really working for when it comes to destroying the Ethiopians? And it leads back to the crew. But at the same time, we see the bullshit. So we have to start to look at things more better, because what Joe Biden is really doing is weakening your country from the inside out. The postal service spying on you. Look it up in in the medical, fucking with you. You already feel the result of that. You know what I'm saying? In every form in our country, and even talking about our electrical grid. What kind of shit is that? So we know that Joe Biden has conceived and in bed with our foreign enemies in order for him and the demon Democrat Ku Klux Klan or the Grand Poobah War that they are still fighting, with the trickery game that they played within our government, using our government trickery games, and go into our government in commander in chief or any kind of senator or congressman or whatever lawmaker. And that goes for niggers too. Doing this bullshit is something we must seriously begin. And no matter how deep they dig in, you cannot tell me the valiancy of the soldiers and the heroes of the United States is going to just lay down and let these fuckers enslave you. Now I'm calling on all Americans born blooded here on this land because blood cloaks flesh. You see what I'm saying? So we know when we say blood what we're talking about within the soul. So I'm calling on all Americans to stand up now and bring forth that heat so we can drive these people up out. And it doesn't matter if they're underground, we will release the sea and flood the tunnels if they do not behave themselves and do the right thing. Because we beginning to see the bullshit. What who gave you the right to do this to the human population? This garbage in which we have seen. Who gave them the right to be doing this all these years? Facilitated by our own people, black people as well, is the number one proprietor and the number one person, the number one group to be driving and keeping people like Creep Joe Biden and them motherfuckers up in our government. Coming in the black community and lying to the black people and lying to the black people. Making them believe that the group in which they're following has their best interests at hand and never did. The only at hand they had was the fact that they're going to use you to stay in power. And they're going to pay you to fuck over your own people's power. And they have been doing this all along. Even the ones you saw up there with Como. When Como said he ain't taking it till the black community take it or whatever the bullshit he was talking, and then he went to Harlem or wherever, and he had all them black leaders behind him all dressed in black and white. Don't give me that bullshit. All of them has been their old ass, garbage, trash, will sell their mother out for no more than a greasy ass chicken wing, but can't get the community together to even think of a greasy spoon. We must start to look at this because no matter how deep they dig in, we must fight. We're Americans, and the valiant spirit of America stands strong. The demon Democrats need to get off their bullshit and get their shit together. The Republicans need to come forward and make it strong, hard, and put down a clear message that the United States of America and its valiant men and women that died in many shitty-ass, conspiratorial, garbage, demon, democratical, whatever, whoever they're transpiring in across the galaxy with, have fucked over the United States. But we must let them know now that we will not go quietly into the night because sabotage is a motherfucker, isn't it? So I'm calling on all valiant soldiers and all men and women to stand strong. Do your investigation. Your eyes must be sharper than the eagle or the falcon that frosts the sky. To watch every move, every place, every hole, every cubby, every spot in our country, to pay attention to their bullshit that they have dug in, and the creep Joe Biden and the rest of these Arab and all these ching chong up in our medical field must be watched. All Americans, you cannot tell me that you are just going to lay down your arms and run. This is one of the greatest times of America as a whole to show the power of who? The motherfucking people. It is time to do the power to the people now. And that goes for all. Cut your garbage ass, savage ass, as black people are not following ass, savage ass, with your gutter trash, pedophilia, rape, sex trafficking, murder, chemicalization, and all kinds of garbage in our country that must be quelled and bring back to its proper perspective. We are Americans. Where's your balls? Don't tell me that you just quail them up and hide. While you let everyone else come in this country and fuck you over. Have more influence in your government than even your vote or your lobbying. I am calling on all Americans. I don't care what color you are. If you were born here and you believe in the value of freedom and a free nation, a free state, and a free country as a whole, in the glorifulness of the strength and the power of the United States, in itself under one federation, must be established. All wicked ones that is sabotaging our country and have paid the bill to do so must not be honored. We must stand firm and move forward now. We must flood all holes and drive all Luciferian bullshit out of our country. Because we are what? We are the United States of America. We are considered the greatest nation on this earth. And we will, and we always have been, the greatest nation in the world. Africa first. America, South America, all that is one whole. And that is to the republic of which it stands. So let's get it together, people. We got a fight on our hands. They already dug in pretty deep because of the people like Creep Joe Biden and his creepy administration. To where now they're even using chemical attacks on the American people from within your country and many other countries as well. This is to get rid of all the rabble rousers, all the rebels, all the warriors, and all the soldiers that can fight, and then attacking them at such a young age while they thinking, who gives a fuck? This is 2023. Nobody cares about that shit. Well, we care about our lives, and we care about that shit right here, right now. You get that straight. No more playing around. You know what I'm saying? And that's the comment of the day by the Great Point Black.